I want to talk about HB2, this transgender bathroom law in North Carolina. As you probably know, the law passed in March. It requires transgender people to use the bathroom that corresponds with their birth certificate gender. And this is in schools and state government buildings. Somewhat less commonly known is that the law also excludes gender identity and sexual orientation from anti-discrimination protections in the state. That's the background of the law. We now see Republican leaders reeling because the NCAA has pulled 7 championships out of North Carolina over this ridiculous law. We've already seen some pressure imposed on North Carolina by collegiate sports, and college sports is huge in North Carolina. That's why it makes a really, really potentially big impact. But now the NCAA has said, we're pulling out 7 championships here. The NBA has canceled some stuff there. Rock stars have canceled concerts, etc. And the idea is to continue to put financial pressure on the NCAA. It's already projected, on the state of North Carolina by the NCAA. We are estimating that $20 million will be lost in revenue from the cancellation of next year's basketball, baseball, soccer, tennis, lacrosse, and golf events. And I started thinking, Rachel, if this works at getting North Carolina to repeal HB2, is it really a victory? Because clearly they wouldn't at this point repeal the law because that horrific and deplorable Pat McCrory says, you know what? It's not a good law. It's an unfair law. We should cancel it. We should undo it. It would only be because they are losing money. And we are sort of against the idea of entities just doing what they need to do in order to not lose money. We talk about this with corporate media, etc. So I truly don't know if this does work to get HB2 repealed. Should I be glad, or should I still realize that, wait a second, North Carolina is still just as deplorable. They still have the exact same position on this issue. They might just change the law because they want to recuperate that money.
I think it's kind of a double-edged sword, because I think that if it does end up working and the NCAA holds the kind of weight that it does to attract attention to this issue, then that could be a victory, because in fact they are getting it to be changed. But at the same time, knowing the circumstances under which it is changed does make me think, okay, well, there's still going to be this horrible kind of deplorable morals and values that I don't agree with. But if at the end of the day it is changing, then I think it has to be a victory.
No matter what the reason for the law change, it would still impact what a transgender individual is able to do in the state. So in that way, we should be glad if it's repealed, no matter what the circumstances. However, we would know that it was only financial pressure, not any feeling of responsibility to the reality that this law is a disaster for transgender individuals, that would have gotten the law changed. But I think at the end of the day, I think your point is right, which is if you're transgender in North Carolina, even if it's financial pressure that gets the law changed, it's still changing what your day-to-day is in terms of how you're able to exist in public.
Right. Also, and I think that if something like the NCAA is kind of bringing this type of attention, that has to be in a positive way, is what I was kind of saying before, because if they didn't kind of take this opinion or this type of statement on how they felt about this issue, then they would be saying nothing at all. And I feel like making a comment is better.
I completely support the NCAA doing this. There's no doubt about it. And really, I'm just more interested in the potential implications. My view of North Carolina's government, their Republican legislature, and Pat McCrory, even if this is repealed, my opinion would not change about them.